All right, what up everyone? Welcome back. It's Matt here with Urban Surf, and today we're talking about wetsuit boots. We've already covered full suits and gloves, so if you haven't seen those videos, check the description below. We'll throw a link up there for you. So we're gonna be covering everything from 3 mils up to 7 mils, round toe or split toe, to help you figure out which boot is gonna serve you through the winter. Let's go through. Now, let me give you just a second here to talk about those main differences between a split toe and a round toe. Round toes, completely open on the inside, and they're gonna keep all your toes together, which is gonna keep them nice and warm, but sometimes can have a tendency to slide around on the inside of the boot, especially if you're pivoting aggressively. So if you wanted a little bit more control, then you would move to a split toe. And the split toe is not gonna allow your foot to slide back and forth inside the boot as much as a round toe does, but it does separate that big toe, so sometimes that toe can get a little colder. All right, so biggest question when it comes to boots, just like everything else, is what are you using it for and when are you gonna be using it? What are those conditions like? For us here in the Northwest, we deal with some pretty cold winters through the winter, so that's where a 5 mil boot really does the trick for us. The 5 mil boot gives you the best combination of warmth and flexibility. And within there, you can find ones that are gonna be either more flexible or maybe more durable with less flex to them. So let's break down the 5 mils that we've got right here. First one that I like, our lowest price point, this is the O'Neill Heat Round Toe. Now, the nice thing about this boot is that it does come with the double strap system, so you have one over the top of your foot and then one around the ankle, so you can really cinch those down. The nice thing with this boot as well is that it does have a pretty beefy sole to it. So if you're walking around on sharp rocks or rocks that have barnacles or just a long walk from the parking lot, these things are gonna do you wonders out there. This is also a boot that we've continuously had in our rental fleet, and you know that rentals really do take a beating, but these things, they last 2 or 3 seasons pretty well in the rental fleet. Price is down, $69.95 for those guys. Not quite as much flexibility overall because of that beefy sole. So we move into some of the other boots that have just a little bit more flexibility, and that's gonna be something like the Xcel Infiniti. Has a perforated liner on the top, so keeping it nice and lightweight, flexible. There's the single strap over the top, and then kind of a sole that's kind of in between, you know, the heat boot and then some of the other boots we'll talk about, where it's got a decent amount of stiffness and comfort, especially if you're walking, you know, long distances, but also a good amount of flexibility. Then here we have the Rip Curl Dawn Patrol. Now this boot is the lowest profile, so we've got no straps or anything on it. It is extremely flexible, easy to take on and off. This boot here, probably, you know, wanna make sure you try this one on because you wanna have a super tight fit with this one. You don't want this one to be too loose on you because of, again, no straps on this. You know, you're not gonna be able to tighten it down after the fact. So when you go to try these on in the store, you wanna make sure that they are a super snug fit. But also a really great price point at $74.99. Now we jump up into our slightly higher end range here, and what you're gonna see off the bat here is we've got the Solite boot. Now the Solite 5 mil, this is a custom fit boot here, which means that you're gonna heat up this lower section and slide your foot in there and mold it specifically to your shape. Now they do have this 5 mil, you know, traditional neoprene through the upper portion. This doesn't get molded, but that bottom portion does. So if your foot's a little wider or has a different shape, or you want just the most barefoot feel, then you would go something like this and mold it. These guys have a nice liner on the inside, and they also come with a pair of heat socks as well. So if you wanted to have a sock that you'd put on before, this would be a good boot for that. Big thing to call out on this is it's not really a split toe and it's not really a round toe either, because it does have a tiny divider that's just in the end of this boot here. Be prepared for that when you slide your foot in there. Now another boot here from O'Neill. This is a boot that I have worn a lot in the past. This is the Psychotech. This is gonna do a TB4 exterior with a TB4 firewall on the inside. They do a strap over the top, and then they do this kind of closed off cuff area at the top. So just trying to keep as much water out of there as possible. Now with the TB4, you know, you're gonna get the lightest, stretchiest material that you can pretty much get in a wetsuit boot. And when you put this thing on, I think I've had the most initial reactions of, wow, that's comfy out of this boot right here. Now, while this does come in a split toe, we've preferred to order the round toe of it because it has such a nice snug fit, and you know, it has a ton of performance packed into it. You can also get these in a 3 mil. 3 mil split toe is what we have, and really like those as well. But the 5 mil to get you through the winter is the way to go. Now the next one here, now this is the Xcel Drylock does a channel flex outer, and then they do a Salient Black on the inside, which is, in my opinion, one of the warmest liners that is out there. It really retains your body heat the best. Now this boot is gonna offer you the most amount of control as well because it has a full split toe in there. It's definitely a little uncomfortable in the beginning, especially if you've never worn one, but if you give it a couple of sessions to break in, this thing is really gonna lock your foot inside of there pretty nicely. Good bottom to it, nice and beefy, but still a good amount of flexibility to it. Now the last one in the 5 mils that we've got here, this is gonna be the Flash Bomb. The Flash Bomb incorporates a little bit of round toe and split toe by doing the hidden split toe. So there's just a divider on the inside of the boot there that's gonna separate your big toe from the rest to give you that control. Now these guys do the E7 neoprene with the flash liner on the inside. Strap around the top. This is actually a thinner material at the top as well, so it doesn't get quite as bulky under your wetsuit, and then a single strap over the top. Now, these boots are also going to be available in 7 mil options as well. Now, when you move to a 7 mil, I haven't found one yet. Most of the time, they come in a round toe, but I have not seen a split toe in a 7 mil. And that's because, you know, you want to be as warm as possible, so you want all those toes to stay together. But here you have the Drylock, same channel flex outer with the Salient Black liner on the inside here. Probably the warmest boot you'll need in our area here. But if you're out there somewhere where it's quite a bit colder, that's a great boot to get you through the winter. And then already talked about in the 5 mil, we've got the 7 mil Heat boot from O'Neill. Just a standard round toe 7 mil, lots of durability to it. Straps over the top and around the ankle so you can really cinch that thing up. But a really good price point on the 7 mil boots. These guys are gonna come in at $79.95, whereas the Drylocks are gonna come in at over $100 for those. All right, so does the boot fit? Well, that's up for you to decide. Come on down, try them on. And if you have any questions, reach us at urbansurf.com or give us a call at 206-545-WIND, and we will check you on the next one.